Right, tonight's track is a track called Pale Shelter by a band called Tears for Fears off of an album called The Hurting, which came out in the early 80s. Lots of acoustic instruments on this track as well. So apart from the electronic synthesizers and so on, the track contained quite a few acoustic instruments, which I have attempted to cover using Ableton Live. So I'm going to go back into Ableton and take you through what is on the track. First thing, drum track. I'm using a core LinnDrum kit from Ableton. Number of sounds I've tweaked in there. I've added a bit more of a kicky snare. Let's go to the snare. Kicky snare, snappy snare. Nice claps. So electronic claps with a bit of a delay on those claps as well, which gives it a little bit of extra ambience. And then a nice solid Linn kick drum. Got a few pianos going on there. I'll talk you through the pianos in a minute because they just really come up in the beginning of the song and then towards the end in the verses. But they did a few really clever tricks in the beginning, which maybe not that clever, but is quite clever when you try and recreate it. Nice rhythm guitars. So I use AGML, which is the Ample guitar plugin. I also use Guitar Rig to give that guitar a bit of nice texture, So let's turn off Guitar Rig. And that is really, I'll put Guitar Rig on now and you'll see it gets a bit more. That is really the structure of the song coming through there. So it's guitars there. Guitars are used throughout the song in various different ways. They also used in very strummy acoustic guitar in the chorus, which will come out. One thing I like is that sort of Moog synth sound, and that runs throughout. Check myself up. That runs throughout the song there. Let me pick out that part of the Moog track so you can hear that. Kind of a 70s sound, I guess, but became very popular in 80s tracks as well. So here's the Moog track. I'll silence myself. And you can hear there as well, I've used the flanger, put a bit of flange on it, and gives it a bit more depth, I guess. Yeah, a few more pianos. These pianos here are used particularly on the verses, and you'll hear I've added a DX7, Yamaha DX7 through the Arturia DX7 plugin, more of an electric piano sound. So combining the two made it sound and feel a lot richer. This is what it sounds like. Nice ringing keyboards on there all the way throughout. Used again for pads. One of my favourite pad synths, which is the Oscar, the ImpOscar. So this is the GForce plugin, the ImpOscar2 plugin, and use that to get some nice, rich, warm pads. So let me take you through some of the pad sounds that you get out there. And then the other synth that I used there was the Jupiter 8, and that is used to give like a climbing, stringsy climbing effect, which you'll hear now. I'll play that. And then last but not least was the bass guitar. Lots was going on in the bass guitar in this, especially towards the back end of the song where they introduced a lot of variation in the bass. I thought was quite nice. In the beginning it starts off a little bit plain and then it starts building and building and building. So a nice energy coming off the bass as well. And for that again I used the plugin called ABPL, which again, it's a free plugin from Ample software. It's a VST plugin. And got some really nice, deep, powerful bass sounds. In fact, on that you see I'm not even using anything, no limiter, nothing else, no saturation, nothing else to boost the bass. The bass comes through, I think, pretty well on that song. So just to hear some of the bass that you'll get out of it. Clean some of that up. It does sound a bit, sounds like the quantize went out a little bit there, but I don't really hear it when I play the track, but it's probably something I'll go back and tune up and fix a bit later. Alright, so let's get on to the structure of the song. I think the guitar carries the chords of the song quite well, so what I'll do is I'll just play some of those guitar chords and add a little bit of synth. But let's start with the intro, which I listened to the intro and it's really piano in reverse. But there's quite a few bits going on, so what I decided to do was take a recording of the intro of the song, not sample it because that's cheating, I don't use any samples, but play it the other way around and hear what they're actually doing. So I could actually hear that, and it sounded the other way round. Let me just reverse this out. You can hear how it sounded. So that piece is played in reverse, but it starts with a heavy piano or a piano chord, not too heavy actually, it's a piano chord. It was in G. It starts in G, but there we listen to that. And then the piano chord itself also went into reverse, so you hear that there. So the whole part sounded like this. Get the idea. So a nice build up into that strum on the rhythm guitar there. And let me play you the chords of the rhythm guitar so you can hear those. Now let me just take guitar and drums together and see how that comes out. And then what I'll do is I'll add in bits as I go along, so you hear it build. And then I'll go back and play the whole song, so you can hear the whole thing. If you don't want to go through all of this boring crap, then you can fast forward the video a bit. Maybe I'll put a time marker where I play the whole song through. Otherwise, you can stick it out and watch how it's all put together. Right, so here's guitar and drums. Let's warm it up with some of the keys as well. So now I'll add some of the keys in, some of the keyboard parts. Okay, that's really it. I probably won't do this to you, but what I've been doing just to improvise on the vocals is play along with the sax, which doesn't sound too bad. It's not the best. It's actually a free saxophone. yeah, I seem to use a lot of free acoustic instruments, but spend a lot of money on the effects and electronic instruments. But there you go. Some things work okay, some things don't. But this sax is okay. It's called DST saxophones. This one's a tenor sax, and so if I wanted to release like a saxophone version of it, it's not a real sax, so you can't compare, but it just gives you an idea. All right, let's go and do the whole track without any vocals, of course, because I can't freaking sing. But here we go. Let me first of all turn me off. Here we have it. One little screw up there. I think I must have knocked the tuning out this bit here. Really went a bit haywire. Play around a bit too much with the tuning on that. Yep, that fixed that, I think. Right, that's it. That is Tears for Fears, Pal Shelter. Drop in again, and I'll be performing Head Over Heels. I'm going to be doing a breakdown of Head Over Heels in the next couple of days as well. So stay tuned. See you later.